And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, show number 2 of the day. Hard to believe show number 1 was already finished, but that's what we do. We actually put them out there probably faster than you can download every episode. The Sports Guys Podcast.com, of course, and our friends KKTC True Country 99.9 New Mexico, Colorado market, and our friends in Oklahoma, HighTideCountry.net. Told you guys I had a great couple of shows today. Our thanks to Elise Saunders for stopping by. Her new single, Never Have I Ever, across all those digital platforms out there too. And always pleased to welcome on my next guest of the day. Sometimes we're doing a Texas two-step here, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey and the KadenGordonShow.com. Kaylin Kole to the program. Kaylin, how you doing?
I am great. How about you? Thanks for
It's
asking.
been a good day. You know, it's almost Friday and we're pushing toward the weekend.
Yeah, it's almost Friday.
So it's great
Like
out there
crazy
too.
this week.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this weather's been crazy, hasn't it?
I know. Which hasn't? How is it by you? I know that you're in Texas,
uh,
so
the 20s were tough the first couple of nights, and then you got back to like the high in the 60s today after 2 or 3 days, and
yeah.
the icy roads. But we get over it, and in Texas it never stays cold very long.
Is it? There's there snow though, or no?
We had zero snow. We're not like Nashville
Oh,
where you you guys had
we
a
have
bunch.
7 inches, which is like unheard of here. So I'm like, what's happening right now?
No, it rarely snows in Texas down here too, and like I said, more north of us in Dallas sometimes too. But those temperatures, it's about to get back down to the 20s. I think for a couple of nights coming up this weekend too. But hopefully,
Yeah.
we thaw out pretty quick. I tell you what's on fire. Speaking of two things that I love is whiskey, and of course a good shot of bourbon out there too. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll talk about this album and break down a number of songs here on the show. But how you got started, what kind of sparked that musical, I guess, balance in your lifestyle from a young age, and kind of why you took this path to be artistry, because one, you're very good at it, and two, it really
Thank
shows
you.
from the music.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, it kind of goes back to when I was just very young. So when I was, taking all of the information that I could in as like a sponge when I was a young kid, it was like 3 or 4 years old. My dad was a DJ, and so he had a lot of CDs back when we had only CDs, but we would just listen and listen to music, all different
Hmm.
genres, all different types. And that's what I think makes me kind of versatile now as a
Hmm.
musician nowadays. I mean, you can see it with my discography. I
Hmm.
was soul pop, and now I just put out, some country tunes and, some other things in the near future. So, with all that being said, I think it's just a mixture of me loving different kinds of music at such a young
Hmm.
age. But also, I did musical theater too when I was younger. So I was in community theater and then did high school performances. And I just loved being on stage.
Hmm.
I loved being another person in like a play or anything. And
Hmm.
it's fun just to express, who you are or what this character is. And I don't
Hmm.
know, I just had a great time performing. So I love to write, I love to sing, but honestly, where my heart is like touring and performing and being on stage and just bringing that energy, for people. So,
Give me some of those musical influences, because you've got this smoky kind of raspy thing going on with the voice, which is fantastic for this album, specifically
thank
that
you.
song, and I love it so much. And you got this 90s throwback feel to me, because I know my show is endorsed by some of the 90s greats and even the
Yeah.
80s greats, such as T. Graham Brown, Neil McCoy, and of course our friend John Michael Montgomery out there too. But
Mhm.
it's a great EP, this Bourbon Warfare. When it came out, and when I got a chance to check it out, when you and I first had met, what a song! And when this got presented to you, this tells a beautiful story.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat down with Kurt Stevens and Kent Jenkins, and we all just this was our first write together as a crew. And sometimes those first writes can either make or break the crew as to if you're going to get together again. And we've definitely gotten together more since then. But we wrote that song, I believe, early 2023, and
Hmm.
it was Kurt's idea. We were over at his house, and we're throwing ideas around, going in our notes apps. But Kurt just threw that out on the table, and we all looked at each other and we were like, this has to be written today. And I'm glad it did, because it turned out beautifully, in my opinion. I love just what the story encompasses, but it's such a real thing that people go through, sadly, but it's just like, you have to give people an ultimatum sometimes in your
Mhm.
life. And it's, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't have to be about alcohol. It could be about anything. And so I think it's a great metaphorical kind of song for people to relate to.
No, it is. And we're going to take a break and come right back because I want to hear this particular track off of here too as well. And there's another one called You Ain't Jack off of there too, which is, boy, it's a great rendition when she's talking about something out there too as well. You got to hear the song. It's hard for me to explain it to you, but you'll hear a couple of great songs here on the Backstage Pass. We'll take a timeout for our friends at Bangtail Whiskey and the Kaylin Gordon Show.com. Today's best country mix. More with Kaylin Kole. It is the Backstage Pass, KKTC True Country 99.9, New Mexico, Colorado, and of course, HighTideCountry.net. Coming back with more with Kaylin. Stay tuned.
The Kaylin Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thekaylingordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here with Kaylin Kole on the program. It is the Backstage Pass powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com too as well. We got some comments coming in. We'll get to those in just a little bit too. KKTC True Country 99.9 out there in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Pueblo, Colorado. Thank you guys for listening. Weeknights, 7 days a week out there too at 9:10 Mountain Time. And of course out there, HighTideCountry.net, the very website. Thanks to our sponsors there, Bangtail Whiskey, and our friends at the KaylingGordonShow.com. The new EP, Bourbon Warfare. You got to really hear this song. And you know what? Perfect time to have you play Bourbon Warfare here on the program.
I can definitely do that for you. Why not?
Why not?
Also, I would love to try some Bangtail whiskey.
We got to
have it in Tennessee.
Yes, and it's Live Oak out there. And also,
Okay,
too,
yeah.
Bangtail.com is where you can ship it to your house right there. So, love it. And we got actually, my buddy Brandon will be there, Kaylin, so we'll have to do a little shot or two. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Why not?
It's all yours.
My heart beats fast, you talk slow. When it's late at night and you're just getting home, I can see it in your eyes, I can smell it on your words. They cut like a knife, 'cause you know where it hurts. And this bourbon warfare, nobody wins. I didn't sign up to fight in this battle that we're in. I don't want to be another late night casualty, so you'll have to choose Jim Beam or me. What's it gonna be? Yeah. What's it gonna be? My grandmother's face that she brought back from Rome is in pieces in the ground. In this house that don't feel like a home, can't put it back together, 'cause there's still a chance that we could be together if you could be a better man. In this bourbon warfare, nobody wins. I didn't sign up to fight in this battle that we're in. I don't want to be another late night casualty, so you'll have to choose Jim Beam or me. What's it gonna be? Oh, yeah. what's it gonna be? Yeah. In this bourbon warfare, nobody wins. I didn't sign up to fight in this battle that we're in. I don't wanna be another late night casualty, so you'll have to choose Jim Beam or me. Yeah, you'll have to choose Jim Beam or me. What's it gonna be? Oh, yeah. What's it gonna be? That battle on me.
I love that song, and I played it so much the last few days that, man, there's a great meaning coming out of there too, as well, no doubt. And some comments coming in. Happy Thursday, beautiful song, no doubt too. And I got one. I'm gonna take one from David because he listens all the way from England over there. One of my avid listeners and tuning in for the show too, as well as how far we reach out there. HighTideCountry.net. He covers up our face here. You can I can't see us watching from Cumbria. Kaylin, tell me about the instruments that she uses and how important are the instruments to her when she's writing and performing. Good question.
David, very introspective.
Mm-hmm.
So I play the piano, I play the guitar, and I play the flute. But the flute doesn't help me when writing music. That's just kind of a little quirk, I guess. But I started out on guitar, and I was, I believe, a freshman in high school when I picked up the guitar. Not seriously, though, but when I actually made the move to Nashville, which was 4 years ago, that's kind of when I started to get pretty serious about, songwriting and what I wanted to do. And then during COVID, I bought a piano and picked that up. So I taught myself, had a couple lessons here and there, but most of it is just, taking what I learned from the guitar and applying it to a piano. So typically, once you learn one instrument, you can learn the other one because it's very similar. But yeah,
I love that. Yeah, very good question.
I think writing, I do more on the guitar nowadays, especially since I'm going the country soul route. So I think there's specific things that you can pick out in a guitar, but I'm never opposed to writing with piano. I have done that as well. So.
Let's build on that a little bit too. Writing, what makes you tick? And what does it have to be a real experience? Is it something that can be kind of the fantasy world out there? Maybe an idea, something you heard, maybe something you found on social media to give you ideas. What makes the Kaylin Kole writing style tick?
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot as a songwriter, especially in the past year, just because I would take only personal things that has happened to me and experiences and all that stuff. But now I've been challenging myself to, if I find a cool phrase or a cool tag that I really want to write, I'm going to challenge myself along with the other writers in the room to create a reality that's not ours into a song. So I think I've been pretty successful doing that recently. I've got some really cool stuff coming out soon here that I can't wait to share. But a lot of that is not my own experience.
Let's talk about another one off this record I love so much too. And was just, man, this was like hits you right here, just right in the heart, no doubt about it. Whiskey Wings. Like this had to be as much fun to sing it, play it, get in the studio, kind of perfect it. This is a very good song.
It's so fun. That was my best friend and I. Her name is Julielle. She has her own version out as well. And that is very rare when both songwriters on the song also cut it. But I think we just have such a special relationship, and also where we're at in our careers, we're kind of allowed to make those choices. So she had her first version. She had the version come out first, and then I had mine come out with my EP. But she brought the idea to the table with some other songwriters that were in the room as well. And this was our first group write together again. And her and I were just bouncing ideas off each other. And we were like, yes, what about this? Or let's make it seem like, almost nostalgic in a sense for those who listen to it. It's like, it's not exactly all about, the first time you sip whiskey or try it. It's all about first experiences and being young and growing up in those and having to figure out where you're going to go and what route you're going to take. So I think it's just a really cool coming of age song and kind of a growing up song. And her and I just love playing it. When she has a show, she'll allow me to sing on it and vice versa. It's really fun to perform live too.
I love it. Great song there too. We'll take a timeout and coming back, a performance of You Ain't Jack, which is off that record too, from Bourbon Warfare 2, from the great Kaylin Kole out there too. We'll take a timeout for our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, bangtail.com. The easiest way to get that shipped to your door. Or if you're in Nashville, Live Oak out there too at some of the bars, and definitely Total Wine and Specs, wherever you find that. Now it's in the Texas market in San Antonio, Texas. I found out the other day too as well from Brandon Bing, our good friend, CEO, owner of Hoss Nation out there too. He's also a great artist. Go support his music out there too while you're at it. According all the artists out there, of course, support their music too that we feature here on the Backstage Pass too as well, and the KadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix out of Boston, Massachusetts. Always love standing behind him. Great brand, great shows out there, and a great host in his own right. KKTC 99.9 True Country. You can hear the show out there weeknights at 9 Mountain Time, and of course out there 9 and 10 Mountain Time. And always HighTideCountry.net. Coming back with You Ain't Jack here on the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
The Kaylin Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thekadengordonshow.com.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here, Kaylin Kole on the program. The new record is Bourbon Warfare out there, the EP. It's been out since last August. If you haven't heard it, I don't know where you've been, hidden under a rock or something. No, just kidding. Go download it across all the digital platforms out there. And of course, we're going to play some of this KKTC True Country 99.9 because we need more people to hear this great record out there too. I know you got another one for us here. You Ain't Jack. Let's do that now.
All right.
There we go.
Think of the life of the party, got a couple of Bacardi, slowly making your rounds, trying to make something happen, get a drunk girl to dance with so you can take her back to your house. Well, you think you're smooth, bending the truth, but there's so much that you lack. You ain't Jack, 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 hope you never come back. If you leave me broken, wondering, wanting the answers I couldn't find here at the bar. You ain't Jack. You may be easy on the eyes, but I know there's a side of you that would leave me hurt. You could promise me heaven, all I get is a lesson, like a fire that will leave me burned. Yeah, you think you got it all to make any girl fall, boy, you're so damn wrong. You ain't Jack, 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 hope you never come back. If you leave me broken, wondering, wanting the answers I couldn't find here at the bar. You ain't Jack, 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 no, you ain't Jack, 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 no. Yeah, that old number 7's got my attention, something that you'll never have. Yeah, he treats me right and makes me feel alive, and you sure as hell can never do that. You ain't Jack, Jack, Jack. You ain't Jack, Jack. You ain't Jack, Jack. die, die. No.
I love it. If she's playing during CRS, count us in to come down there too for a gig down there too at the Backstage Pass Country Radio Seminar. Will be there February 27th to March the 3rd. And if she's playing, we're coming to catch her. No matter what diver bar, I will lift an Uber to get to that spot around town to come see her perform, because this EP's got a little everything, a little something for everybody out there. Bourbon Warfare from Kaylin Kole. And be sure to check out KaylinKole.com for the audio listeners, KAYLIN. KOLE.com too, as well, to specify that out there too for the people that can't see us in the video version of it too, before our listeners over there too at KKTC True Country 99.9 in the Taos, New Mexico, Colorado markets, and of course out there hightidecountry.net in Oklahoma that plays our great show out there too. Appreciate that. All right, I got to ask you about this one before I get into a little rapid fire and have fun with it, because I really enjoyed this. Working on It. What a title for a song. Tell us all about that one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So one of my best friends, Lexi Lou, and I wrote that together. And this was one of our first writes. I had a lot of first writes with this album, but it just worked out. But anyway, so I was going through this relationship, and, you know, there were just a lot of empty promises, and how sometimes people, you don't even have to be in a relationship, but just relationships with people in general as a human. Sometimes people tell you one thing and don't actively work on bettering themselves. So instead of working on it, you're working on it, because you're actually not doing crap about it. So I gave the idea to her, and I asked her what she thought, and she was like, it's perfect, because she would say this too. She's like, it's perfect because I'm actually divorcing that person right now. So she loves it. She plays it out all the time too. And every time that she comes and supports me at my rounds, I'll have her hop on a mic and, you know, play it for me too. So
I like that. Working on it.
Yeah. Kind of a sassy song. It's like, okay, well, if you're working on that, then I'm working on leaving. I gotta go.
I gotta go, no doubt too. Hey, I'm gonna go back to something. We were talking about this before the show, but I tell you to bring it up because a lot of people may not even ask you about this anymore. But I got to hear one. Of course, love the Apple Music subscription out there too, where everybody downloads music. But "Burning House," one of the first songs that you ever had put out from a very young age too, and I really enjoyed listening to this tune. Tell us all about this one.
Yeah, so I have a physical copy of a CD, like my first EP I put out in 2017. It's called Inception. It's not all of the songs are out to stream, but there are a handful on like iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, all that. But Burning House, I just loved Cam growing up, and so I just wanted to cover her song. And you know, I've got an Adele song on that tune. I've got Carrie Underwood on that album as well. But I don't know, Burning House just has such a mature meaning, and just the lyrics behind it. It just really struck me even as a young kid. And you know, at 16 years old, I was like, I really just want a small acoustic, just me and a guitar kind of sound. And I really think they executed that. I have Bobby Boyd to thank for that. He's a gentleman that I met here a while ago before I moved here, but he's been helping me out. And yeah.
Now, another good one to listen to, no doubt, too. And I was going to ask you a big announcement coming up here, your birthday, because I'm also a February alum, too, as well. So yours is February 16th.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cool thing coming out involving Bourbon Warfare. So let's let this cat out of the bag here, too, and let's talk about this project coming up.
Yeah, I kind of waited for your podcast. I haven't
there you go.
Anything about it, so I'm very excited. So Backstage Passers, you guys have the in for this one, but I am releasing a Bourbon Warfare watered down, which is the acoustic version of the entire album, along with videos that you can go and access on my YouTube channel. It's just my name. Definitely go subscribe to that, and you'll be the first to know when I post a video. They're going to be coming out one by one, but the album is going to be out on Spotify to listen to and Apple Music on February 16th. And I'm very excited. It was a very special project because I wanted to spotlight the musicians and the writers on the project. So it's not only me on the behind the camera, or in front of the camera. It's either writers or people that just helped bring the whole project to life. So I'm
There
excited.
you go. Like I said, Backstage Passers, look forward to that. Subscribe to YouTube and look forward to that. Watered Down Sessions coming out here for Bourbon Warfare February 16th. They'll be excited to see that too as well, and definitely to see you in Nashville too at the Country Radio Seminar. I love this one too. Got a chance to check it out, which was Better to Be Broken. Now we've gone through different things in life when you put this song out, and of course everybody throughout their entire lifetime too at the same time. But really dive into this one because this is one that really people can really take to heart who have been through multiple situations in their life.
Yeah, I actually went through like in my personal life something very recent, which can be taken into account when talking about this song. But so Better to Be Broken is a very heartfelt piece that I wrote with some of my old friends here in Nashville. They have moved away to LA, but I love them dearly. And we talk all the time. But this was just a very special song. And it's very, I don't know what kind of genre it is. It's like a pop, like ethereal pop kind of song, but it's all about, not having to reconcile with every single person that, sometimes they leave in your life, and sometimes people are here for a season, sometimes people are here for a reason. And I felt myself compelled to like always be best friends with everyone. And growing up, you just kind of realize that you get what you get when it comes to me, and what you see is what you get. And if you don't like it, then that's okay. And not everybody's going to. So sometimes it's better to not try a relationship over again, whichever kind of relationship, and just try to move on from things and just keep growing, whether they are growing in a separate way than you are or vice versa. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the deep meanings of the songs that I love so much, and it drew me to you. And also back to that Bourbon Warfare EP, man, off of there was like, you really have a song that really depicts time.
Yeah.
And man, when you had a time slot there, you're looking 11:03. Tell us about this one, because this had to happen at some particular time in your life or something, or maybe the clock or something. I want to know all about this one too. This is a great song. Yeah.
So I've always wanted to write a song with a timestamp on it, because it's like, I feel like the listeners are drawn to listen to that song. It's like, what is that one about? I have no idea. And so that song comes from a very, very personal experience. All of it's 100% true that has happened in my life. And let's just say Nashville's a crazy city. And I wanted to create such a real song and a raw song, because like, I just want to be authentic and my genuine self with my fans and my friends that follow me, and everything that I do. It's not just a musician, it's me, it's who I am. And I want to be authentic all around. And so with this song, it was very hard to record. Actually, I was taking trips, wiping my eyes. I was like, okay, we have to, record it again. We have to cut this one. But it's just kind of about a first heartbreak, and just being an adult. And I feel like, your high school heartbreaks, not that they're less or anything, but being in the real world by yourself, like figuring things out, and then, having that first real heartbreak, sometimes it takes a while to bounce back. And it really took me a while to bounce back. But this one is just, it's all about, realizing your worth and not sticking around for somebody else to realize it.
Yeah, that's a great way that I put it too. What I got from the song too, and what just to put that timestamp on it was just really, really cool. And I thought it was just something where you can really relate to that, to know where you were, and maybe when, and you looked at a clock, like when this happened, or going through this particular relationship or kind of a bad breakup, and you come out stronger on the other side. But what a song to kind of have there too at the same time, much less going into something of that magnitude. But to have that, and something people, because you can say 11:03 and you just say Kaylin Kole, because there's not many artists that have like a timestamp of a song that really could put them on the map there too. Because every country song out there too is a bad breakup, or like I said, truck broke down or something like that too. So not depicting songs, but not a lot have timestamps on them.
Yeah, and I think 1103 kind of gives me like a Colby Calais sound
Hmm.
almost. And it's not super country, but I think that's just a nice little nugget on the
Hmm.
album that's not like super country. There's not a whole lot of steel or anything. It's just kind of like an easy to listen to kind of song.
It is. That whole album is just amazing to listen to too. I recommend you guys get it across all the platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you download or stream. Bourbon Warfare from Kaylin Kole and KaylinKole.com, KaylinKole.com out there too for all the latest news, and subscribe to her YouTube channel and of course out there on social media. All right, let's have a little fun with this one. Rapid Fire, America's fastest growing game show. I love doing this. Always fun. Programs, TV shows. What are you binge watching lately now?
I am binge watching Friends. I'm binge watching Grey's Anatomy. And if you've ever heard of it, Vampire Diaries.
Okay, yes, all that stuff. Yes, no doubt. And Friends continues to be the classic show that it was
Yep.
and still is today, too, along with those great reruns. All right, we were talking a little bit the other day, just off the cuff. East Nashville has some of the great restaurants and a little something for everybody out there, too. So I love Italian food, Mexican, and just about anything there, too, as you probably can tell. But I will say this, it's pretty cool to get there and actually try some new cuisines. What are some of your favorite spots to eat at,
Um,
specifically in that area?
Yeah, so if you're looking for like sandwiches or greasy burgers, I love this dive bar. It's called Dino's.
Okay.
It's awesome. It kind of sounds like Dino's, like an Italian thing, but it's not. It's burgers and fries, and it's just so good.
Just good.
There's also this place called Greco in East, and it's Mediterranean food, and
Mm,
I absolutely love it.
check it
I'm
out.
I love Mediterranean food, so you should check that one out too. But if you're looking for like just some fun uh, places to go eat, I would
Mhm.
do 5 Points Pizza. They've got like
Okay.
really thin crust pizza too, kind of like New York style, New Jersey style, all that. But they go by the slice or a whole pie. So
Oh,
definitely
all
check
right.
that place out
5 Point Pizza, calling my name there when I get to
too.
CRS in just a few weeks. Lead me in the right direction, no doubt, too, because we're going to have you as a guest there at Country Radio Seminar this year for 2024. And of course, that'll be after the fact when the Watered Down Sessions comes out for
Yeah.
Bourbon Warfare. We can build on that the week of the 27th, too, as well. We have a little few things booked here and there, but yeah, looking forward to hitting Broadway, going out, doing some shows, and eating some good food there till I get back and crash and get up the next day and do it all over again too, no doubt about that too.
Exactly.
Hey, what was the first song you ever sang? Like when you hit the stage for the first time, country, pop, no matter, it could be a cover. First song you ever sang live on a stage?
Um, on a stage in like not a talent show or anything, in public, it was Rumor Has It by Adele. And you can
Oh, okay.
actually look that video up on YouTube. I'm totally outing myself right now, but I'm 11 years old. My hair is like crazy
Hmm.
curly. Didn't know how to manage it at the time, but I'm wearing khaki shorts and flip flops on stage. So I feel like I've branded myself a lot better since then. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, Rumor Has It by Adele.
I love
That is
that.
my
Good
first
stuff
song.
right there too. All right. I guess the 90s country, because I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I love 90s country so much too. And I guess me being endorsed by some of the 90s country greats on this particular platform here, John Michael Montgomery, Randall King, and T. Graham Brown, and of course Neil McCoy, who's one of my show favorites and one of my good buddies out there too that loves the program. What are some 90s country artists that did it for you, or some songs that stuck out for
Well,
you even today?
I really like Bye Bye by Jody Messina.
Hmm.
That's one of my favorites. Same with, I mean, you can't go wrong with Reba. You
Oh no.
can't go wrong with the Dixie Chicks early on in their career. I personally just really love Jody Messina. I think her voice, her style, her tone is just beautiful. Um, and yeah, those are my favorite female artists. I would say Alan Jackson has to be a
Oh yeah.
fave. He's just got hit after
Hmm.
hit, and hey, you might see me on the third floor of AJ's on Broadway singing some karaoke.
Hey,
So,
that's the restaurant. I'm going in there this year. That's one of the spots we got to do it. If you're there, third floor, count us in. We'll come see you do
yeah.
some fun stuff out there too. All right, if we'll finish with this one too, because we're gonna have you back there at CRS here in a couple of weeks. If Kaylin Cole was not a musician, what other career path would she have chosen?
Oh Lord. Um, You know, I actually saw a recent interview with Hardy and how he just was saying you can't have a backup plan. Like, you just have to mentally not have a backup plan. And I'm like, I'm kind of working on that. But if I were to have a backup plan, I think I would go to college because I never went. And I would become probably a marine biologist. I know that's kind of a normal answer, but I don't know. I've just been like super into the ocean recently and like just marine life. So
We're right there. A lot of things in common. Love marine life, love fishing, love just the ocean life out there too. And
yeah, I wish I lived by an ocean. But I don't.
Yep. Well, here down here, it's the Gulf of Mexico for me, but I know there's other
Yeah.
parts of the country that I've always enjoyed visiting. Love the water and love snorkeling and just love to see all the beauty beneath the surface there too, which is the beautiful country we live in too as well. And this is a beautiful album. It's got something for everybody on there, and we talked about a lot of the songs today too. Bourbon Warfare across all those digital platforms out there too, wherever you stream or download. And check her out at KaylinKole.com, KaylinKole.com. Hey, I appreciate you being with me. Looking forward to doing this again at CRS during that week of February. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed the visit. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Brandon. I appreciate it. And thank you, Backstage Pass. And I can't wait to see you in person.
Looking forward to it. February 16th, the Watered Down Sessions comes out too for Bourbon Warfare. Check that out. Subscribe to YouTube. And of course, thanks to all of our great sponsors out there, the KadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. He also does some great interviews up in Boston, Massachusetts, and a lot of the great artists that we interview. Kaden interviews up there too. And our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, and Kaylin's going to try that in Nashville. Some of that good Bangtail whiskey from our friend Brandon Bing over there too as well. And it'll do the throat a lot of good too as well. We're back tomorrow. Austin Foreman on the show. He's got a great song. Take Me Back to the 90s. Once you hear that one too, it'll turn your head. Next week, a slew of shows coming through. Bryce Leatherwood coming by. And of course, coming up here in a few weeks, hit songwriter Steve Dean and a whole lot more. Wade Hayes stopping by, speaking of 90s country in February. And we'll have just a slew of shows coming up over the next few weeks. Don't miss Nashville's biggest and best, brightest talent here on the Backstage Pass. From all of us here, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Austin Foreman on the show. Until then, take care.